CIS, return of Moe Khan. It is Weekend Game Plan here on TSN 690. I'm your host, Matthew Ross. We're here till 9 o'clock. Habs Breakfast with Stu Cowan of the Montreal Gazette. Jay Farrar joining us in our next segment. But right now, we're going to do some college roundup. CIS sports, non-CIS sports. We're joined by a longtime fake friend of mine, Moe Khan 19 on Twitter, Mr. Moe Khan. Now, Mo, I call you a fake friend because you've never been to my house to watch football. We don't socialize, but we get along whenever we see each other. I'm not sure what it is, Mo. I don't know if I have bad breath or you don't like people of certain backgrounds. I'm not really sure what it is, but
we're kind of like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, just different people, but they get along when they got to work together.
Yeah, well, we have yet to win that title, but we get along well, my friend.
All right, well, fair enough. I had a chat with Mo on texting this week, and I said, "Hey Mo, what do you want to talk about this week?" And he mentioned a couple topics. I said, "What about these other sports?" He said, "Well, they're not CIS sports." I'm like, Mo, I don't care if they're considered CIS or not. If they're relevant, let's deal with them. So, what do you got for us this week? So obviously, let's start with football. Some big games, some obviously interesting time of the year in the CIS for football.
Huge, Matthew. Right now, we're at the midway point of the CIS season for football, that is in the Quebec Conference. And last night, we almost had a near upset of the University of Montreal, the number one ranked team in the nation, barely beating Sherbrooke University by 7 points, 27-20 on the road. A huge win for U of M because now they go into their bye week, looking forward to playing Laval in a couple weeks' time in their backyard. So a huge win for U of M over Sherbrooke, but a bigger win for the Concordia Stingers as they defeated the Bishop Gators 50-34 at home yesterday afternoon. A big reason why it's a big win for them, Matthew, because at 3-2, it puts Concordia in third place in the driver's position with 4 games to go to perhaps be a 3 seed, if not even a 2 seed. Things fall their way. So they do have some big wins coming their way. And finally, McGill will play University of Laval this afternoon up in St. Foy, Quebec. Both teams need this victory here for different reasons. One, for Laval to keep up with U of M for first place, and for McGill to still be in the playoff equation of them, Sherbrooke, and Concordia as they head into the bye week next weekend.
All right, we should mention, Mo, that you are connected with the McGill program.
That I am. I do their play-by-play for football, lacrosse, rugby at times as well, men's hockey, women's hockey, basketball for both sides, men's and women's, and every so often women's soccer. So I am all over the place when it comes to McGill varsity sports.
All right, let's talk about the hockey side of things.
Well, training camps are now well underway for both men's and women's. Right now, the women's team on paper look like they could make a deep run in the CIS season. They have a loaded roster from top to bottom here, a great recruiting class coming in. Same thing with the men's team, a bit under the radar because last year they kind of came up short, losing early in the playoffs in what was an injury-plagued season for the McGill Redmen. But both hockey squads look like they can make a deep run this year in their own conferences. But more importantly, if they get beyond that, though, at the CIS Nationals in mid-March, right now, again, it's still early in the process here. They're both playing exhibition games against NCAA teams down south. But once we get more immersed into the season, it should be great hockey. And I always encourage people to come out to see the women's and men's team play on the weekends. There are former Quebec junior players, guys from down south and guys from the OHL who are playing in this league who do end up getting a chance to play in Europe. And even so often, though, you do see an NHL scout or two that come out to these games to see if there's a diamond in the rough that they can sign to their future contracts for years to come.
Well, we know that Mathieu Darche played for the McGill, the McGill program, and ended up obviously with the Lightning and then the Canadiens.
Absolutely, and the thing is, again, Matt, I always encourage, and right now with the Women's Hockey League now coming into fruition, we see more and more of these fine athletes on the women's side who are playing for University of Montreal, who are playing for McGill University and other schools in the Quebec-Ontario conferences who are getting drafted. So that's why there's so much talent that people don't realize that we have in the city that are on display every weekend in the CIS season.
He is Mr. Moe Khan joining us here on Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross, just talking a little amateur sports. Mo, any other non-football or non-hockey related items you want to throw in?
Rugby. We saw at the Olympics at Rio de Janeiro, rugby sevens make their debut and have great success with the viewership. Rugby is a sport that's grown in Quebec. We see a lot of rugby clubs across this province here. But more importantly, the university sport. I had the honor of doing last year's semifinals with McGill and final itself when they played ETS. and they played University of Montreal. And let me tell you one thing about rugby in this province, Matt. The French schools love this sport here, and they came out in droves to Percival and Molson Stadium to watch ETS and University of Montreal play McGill back-to-back weekends here. And right now we're a third through the season in terms of where we're at. McGill at 2-0, Concordia at 1-2, ETS at 0-2, University of Montreal off to a great start at 3-0. As we get more towards October, that's when the games get tighter here, and we do have some mouth-watering matchups coming up in a few weeks here when Montreal does play McGill towards the end of October. So some great games to look out for, and as we get more immersed into this season, you'll see some great finishes, and I think we'll see another photo finish this year with McGill, University of Montreal, or even Concordia for that matter, playing the RCQ finals in middle November.
Mouth-watering matchups. I'm still stuck on that one. That's pretty good, Mo.
Well, you learn these words as you do play-by-play, right? You pick up these words here,
Mo, you're a football guy at heart. Obviously, your team is the Raiders. Dave Trentadua here is a Ravens fan. What are you predicting for that game today? Raiders and Ravens.
I said this would be a 5-point victory either side here. I think.
Oh, that's a cop-out, Mo. Come on.
I know, man.
The number one thing in sports radio is pick a side, Mo. You can't be on the fence.
You know who I'm picking here, Matt, but I'm just saying that what it'll come down to, though, is the line of scrimmage battle here. Baltimore is top 3 in sacks for this year. Oakland has only given up 2 sacks. In fact, one of the 2 sacks that Derek Carr has taken, he ran out of bounds. So, in theory, they've given up 1 sack so far this year. If Baltimore can win the line of scrimmage, they have a great chance to win at home against Oakland. But Oakland looks very good on the road since Jack Del Rio took over last year.
All right, so you still didn't give a pick.
I picked Oakland.
No, you said you know who I'm picking. I want you to physically or verbally say it.
For the millions of people who are listening to the game plan right now, know who's my football team. So we know who I'm picking.
All right, Mo. Enjoy the action today. Thanks so much for checking in, and one day we'll actually hang out.
We have our big Habs get-together in 2 weeks.
Oh, yes, here with some lucky listeners. October 13th. I will be there, yes.
That's considered to be hanging out.
All right, Mo. You, me, and your sweatpants. We'll hang out.
You tell Stu Cowan I say hello, my friend.
I will. Thank you very much.
Be good, guys.
It is Game Plan here on TSN 690. Weekend Game Plan, to be precise. Here's the deal. We have some breaking news on the NFL game we're going to pick up live from London. It's at 9:30 today, pregame at 9. One injury between the Jaguars and the Colts has been just mentioned by Adam Schefter on Twitter. Jay Farrar will have that for you on SportsCenter. On the other side, Habs Breakfast, Stu Cowan, Jay Farrar, myself, Dave Trentadua, who was at the Habs Ottawa game in Ottawa yesterday. That coming up next.